Hey van friends, it's Brian here again. I'm going to go through a little video walkthrough of my van. So here it is. All right, so here's the exterior of my van. It's a 2014 Ram Promaster 1500, 136-inch wheelbase with dual sliding doors and factory glass windows in both sliders and the rear. I've got a VanTech roof rack. It's actually made for a 159, but as you can see, with 200-watt solar panels on top, two 100s, I have plenty of room to add more front and back. Came with step bars, aftermarket wheels, new tires, and it's not refrigerator white, it's silver, which I liked. And this is a Laverne brush guard. Not sure what these retail for. This actually came with the van as well, but this is road protection. I hear of a lot of people hitting deer and turkey with the Promaster, and it costs a lot of money to repair. This is actually a good investment if you guys don't have one. I added these 4 LED lights, and they're pretty bright. I use them for driving conditions. I actually call them the hammer at dawn. They're pretty bright. All right guys, so here we go. I got a little cheap wide angle clip-on lens from Amazon. I'm not too happy with it, but it actually does show a little bit more. So we'll get started here. So here's the left side of the van. This is the back of the kitchen backsplash and the cabinets here. This is actually the water pump switch from the front. Just I have conduit run back here. This is the freshwater gravity fill, and these are the vents for the refrigerator. I have it's actually a marine grade refrigerator. It's an isotherm 65 stainless steel with the Danfoss compressor. So this is how it breathes. And here we go. So here's what a lot of people with only one slider don't really have. You can see all the way through, and actually built this so you can use both sides of the van for access, ingress and egress. All right, so let's take a look. Oh, first I'll show you these kind of my trim work on the, I call it the stair step, just the transition from the cab area into the living area of the van. Got 90-degree aluminum angle here. Actually brushed that by hand as I think it's a nice transition strip here. Got a passenger seat swivel here. Adds a lot of room. And this here, just a standard Promaster cab. Everyone's seen one of these. All right, storage up here. These are the beams that I made by hand. This is where the video is going to get it's going to get information heavy. So I'll just pan around here. This is looking back out the left slider door. Here's some of the woodwork that we did. Just a lot of people don't know what to do with these the transition points here, where nothing's square and everything's kind of rounded. So we used it's kind of a flexible, really thin flexible plywood. We actually had to get it from a regional lumber supplier. But we'll just spin around here. Don't have direct light in here, so it's kind of not as bright as I'd like. Let's turn on the light, see if we can get some so I got 3 dimmers on each of the 3 switches. I have 3 zones. I've got ceiling, accent panels, and kitchen. So yeah, that didn't really add too much light, but I'll just sit in my swivel chair, and yeah, here's the interior of my van from the passenger swivel seat. There she is. I'll probably take some short clips at night when you can really see the interior really well with all of the accent lighting. So, all right guys, so here's what she looks like at night. Pretty bright. I have a total of 15 LED lights in the van, so I've got 8 in the ceiling in between the beam sections. I've got 2 on each side over the accent panels and 3 total for the kitchen. So yeah, this is what she looks like. Get out of the way of this car. All right, so what we'll do is just step up here, just kind of spin around, see what it looks like from the other side. All right, so there we go. Turn off the ceiling. So just the accent and the kitchen lights. I actually have the accent and kitchen lights over here. So still quite a bit of light, even with just the kitchen lights on, and everything is on a dimmer. Probably my favorite. Just turn on these accent panels. Just give it a second for the camera to adjust. Alright, so there you have it. That's what she looks like at night. So, I'll start from the left side here. We've got the, as I call it, the grill cabinet. So I've got one of the Impava stainless steel cooktops. And I'm calling these side splashes. You know, a lot of kitchens have back splashes, but I didn't want any food or grease or anything that you cook get on the back of the sliding door or into the sleeping, hanging out passenger compartment. So that's kind of the purpose of these here. And this here, another piece of granite that just slides up and locks just like that. If I stand back here, this just serves as extra counter space for when you're cooking, or if you're doing anything outside, you need to set something down. But what I usually use it for is this, just like that. It's actually a perfect length. I've got the swivel seat all the way back. I'm 6 feet tall, but if you actually pull the seat forward, you can use all the way forward in the rear swivel position. You can use this as a little desktop. So there's that. We got, of course, we got drawers. This one is, this drawer is a little bit shorter because I've got the gas line and the wall switches and wiring that run all the way back. So this drawer actually can't be full length because of the grill. And down here, we've got the bathroom. So this is actually Velcro down. It will move. These hinges have enough weight to support if you want to take the toilet off. I made it so it can come off and be positioned. It can face this way or that way as well, so you can do both. But we actually designed this van, all the cabinets on the computer first before we built anything to maximize space. You can kind of see the it's hitting that slider down there, but you can see the tolerances we have to maximize everything that we needed to put in the van but also have a free space. Case in point, there is the propane source for the stove. It's just holds gas bottles. So that's what it is. We got the grill up top and the bathroom down below, and everything just compacts nicely. So switch over here to the other side. Here is my backsplash. It's stainless steel. Here's my sink. It's a vessel sink made by Kraus, along with the faucet, which is also a this is a brushed nickel, and we've got extension here as well. And this is the water pump switch. That's the conduit box that you saw in the back. And here's a little look at the hardware I got as well. So kind of built this like a tiny home. Everything is basically from Lowe's or Home Depot. So there's just a probably one of the simpler kitchen water setups. We've got the fresh water on the right and the gray water on the left. It's got a flow jet water pump. I've got a C-flow accumulator back there and a 3M Filtrete water filter. So that is the kitchen sink and water. All right, and probably one of my more favorite features of what I was looking for. A lot of people do they buy the ARB Engel or winter fridges that open from the top. You have to have a slider or rail system to access it. So I got one of these. It's this is an isotherm 65 stainless steel refrigerator. It's marine grade, so it's got the Danfoss compressor, and this thing is actually very impressive. I mean, this sucker is deep. I mean, you could fit steak, eggs, quite a bit of beer in there if you want to. You have the door storage as well, and it's got this little ice box as well. It's very low power. I want to say the peak of this when it's running is about 3 amps, but the internal thermostat reaches the temperature you want with this dial right there. So it'll reach the temperature you want and then just turn off. So it's extremely efficient, and it's actually built for the marine environment, so it's very durable. So I'm really stoked about that. All right, so here's the interior of the van. A lot of people have commented on the interior. I've put a lot of time, actually, in money and design into this. Just really wanted a visually pleasing environment. You know, just case in point, all the little details like this switches here, or the power outlets. So that kind of got a concave shape to them. Shiplap, of course. Oh yeah, I'll get to the electrical system in a second, but some people have asked me what this is. This is the Bluetooth transmitter for my Renogy solar system. So I'll show you guys that in a second here too. These are testers. You guys can tell I don't have cushions for the bed yet. I've got my upholsterer working on those right now, and they're just not finished. Yeah, so here is basically what took the most amount of time was getting the aesthetics in here. So I've got, these are PVC, I call them 3D wall panels. I had to case them out just so you wouldn't bump your head or rub your shoulders in here. I didn't want them directly placed on the shiplap. Actually, I'll take this. This lens is cheap, so I'm not going to use it anymore. So there we have it. The wall panels there. Table herringbone pattern. I had another one that I made out of reclaimed barnwood and resined it. The resin actually turned yellow, so it didn't match the van anymore. That's the type of perfectionist I am. So I built this. This is just pine that I built to match the floor. So this is a Shaw brand, Shaw luxury vinyl floor. It's actually nailed and glued. I tried the floating floor at first and everything just moved around all over the place, so I decided to nail and glue it, just like I do everything. So here's my fantastic fan here. It's got intake and exhaust function and 3-speed, so I'm actually really happy with this. That brings me to the air vents here. I ran PVC pipe down through the floor to the underside of the van. So basically when you have the fan on, whether it's in exhaust mode or intake mode, these serve as the breathing points. And they've got little buttons that you can actually close them off, and I've got PVC covers. They're actually closed right now because it's wintertime, but when you have the fan on and these open, this will pull and push some air over the sleeping compartment or the hanging out compartment, which I really like. So there are those. A lot of people online had asked me how I accomplished the ceiling beams. Kind of took an engineering and design approach to this. I wanted to use every space. So I'm a little over 6 feet tall. So space was really an issue for me. I know a lot of people, basically they take their plywood or their polyiso, whatever they're using for insulation, and they just run it over the factory beams here in the center. What I did was I found some suitable attachment points in the sides of the van and ran sheet metal screws and cased out the beams, which in turn, the beams actually hold the ceiling in place. So I had polyiso insulation, and then I put the tongue and groove boards up, and the ceiling beams, once screwed in, actually keep everything in place. So these are the exposed wood ceiling beams that I created. So I think it gives a really nice look, especially with the cabinets underneath them. It's just something different that I haven't seen anyone do in a van yet. It's especially for the back door and where the factory interior light is. It's a good way to hide all of the bare sheet metal in a lot of these builds. So it's probably one of my, it was my first idea for this van that I really wanted to do aesthetic wise, and just carried it throughout with everything else. Like you've got in between the kitchen cabinets, and let's call them the living space cabinets, just have some spare space here. Just open space to me is really appealing. I continue the shiplap up to the ceiling beams, and table here, lagoon mount, there she is. So this actually drops all the way down and serves as the bed. Once I get my cushions made, we'll see if that ever happens. So we'll just move this out of the way. This piece will actually fit in the benches. It's just here, I had to remeasure for a couple different things, but this can be stowed away, and you can only, just have the table here so you can walk all the way through the back. So back to these cabinets here. There we go. Just open all these up. A lot of people buy the same cabinet lifts on Amazon or eBay or whatever, but a lot of people don't understand the measurement of force, which is newtons. A lot of people get 100 N, which is 100 Newton or 22.5 pound force gas struts for their cabinets, and that's too much. So I actually found these are 50 Newton cabinet lifts, and as you can see, they don't take nearly as much force to open. You're not going to wear out your hinges. See that? Proper amount of force. And actually when you close them, it takes how I mounted them takes a little bit more to close them, but that's why I don't have magnetic or mechanical catches on my doors. These are strong enough, the cabinet supports are strong enough to keep the doors closed regardless of what you have in here, pots and pans or whatever. So just open all these up and show you guys how much storage we actually have. A lot of people have asked me how many or how deep these cabinets are. I don't have a measuring tape in the van. I actually took all my tools out so I can do this video, but it's actually amazing how much storage you can achieve. I mean, I want to say those might be a little over 12 inches deep, these upper cabinets. But see how even with the door lids open, see how much just open space you have. And this is a Promaster 136. You need, as you know, every inch counts pretty much. So those are the upper cabinets. Take a look at the electrical system. So these are my two zones here. This is the accent light, and these are the kitchen lights, and they're on dimmers, both of them. I have a 1200 watt Ames power inverter, so that is the remote power switch right there. I actually have, it's got an AC switch mode, so if you plug it into an outside source, 110 wall outlet with an extension cord, it will power everything with 110 AC through the inverter, which is pretty cool. There's that. Hop back in here. So this is just the this is the other side. Just looking in through the passenger side. So as you can see, the fit and finish, everything is super clean. That's what I wanted for a van. Simple but elegant. That's what I was going for. We'll take a look at here in a second. As you can see, I did a wall-to-wall, basically shiplap on every surface possible. So it really gives everything in the interior streamlined look. All right, pop this open. All right, you guys, let's take a look at the solar and electrical system. All right, so here's my solar and electrical system here. I've got Renogy 100 amp hour batteries wired in parallel for a 200 amp hour system with a Rover 30 MPPT solar charge controller and 200 watts right now on the roof and solar panels. This is my Ames power inverter. It powers my wall switches right here, both sides, and AC switch mode with electrical receptacle run to the outside of the van. So it's a very simple setup, clean and simple, no more than what's needed, no overkill, just what you need. I've got a Keyline Chargers brand automatic charge relay that runs from the alternator or the vehicle battery system back to the house battery system. So when you're trying to do a fairly, you know, a build on some type of budget, I just think that solar power is never going to compete with an engine and an alternator. So that's why I went that route, and a smaller solar system for now. Like I said, it can be upgraded at some point. That's just what I decided to do. And while we're looking at this, I'll move these cushions and show you guys storage here. So both benches that serve as your seating area and your bed, I want to say these are 21 inches wide. We actually used truck bed liner material for this, so it's real rubbery. Anything you store in the bench area, and the other one's just like it on the other side. Nothing's going to get destroyed or scratch, anything like that. It's just kind of like a soft, rubbery material with grip, but especially for a compartment where you're going to have electrical components, this is what I wanted. It's more rugged, it's easy to clean. You just run a quick vacuum, dirt doesn't stick to it. It's waterproof. I think it's really, really clean, but clean look, but it's a durable material. So that's what I did under my benches. So there's that. Magnetic catches. All right. Move this here. We'll take a look. All right, so here are the rear doors. Just said I wanted as much shiplap as possible. Really wanted everything to be uniform. I've seen a lot of builds where people say put wall panels up, but they kind of leave bare sheet metal in the van, and I really wanted a clean, complete look. So these are the doors. I will step back. So there you have it. So there's my van from the outside. Like I said, I've got still waiting on my upholstery to be done. So I just bought these as some samples when I was looking at different fabric, what color I was going to go with. That's it. More angled aluminum here. These are just the transition steps, so you don't see that cross section of the materials you used for soundproofing, plywood, insulation. It provides a very nice, clean, simple solution for trimming everything out in the floor. So, and here's like what I just talked about with regard to leaving bare sheet metal open and all the curves in the van, and when you're trying to build. This is what I decided to do to transition from my shiplap to the last upper beam where that factory rear light is. I didn't know what to do at first. This took quite a few hours to figure out what to do, but just a few pieces of wood cut and put together. I think a lot of it with builds is a matter of, if you really want a clean look, just figuring out a way to use wood or other materials to cover up the sheet metal and all the curves. So case in point, like these rear, I call them the taillight panels. These panels are removable because obviously you have a tail light out, you have to replace a bulb, you have to get in there. So these are very easy to take off, to change bulbs and make repairs to the rear quarter panel of the vehicle. So we designed those on the computer as well. They're an exact fit using the factory Dodge design data that my brother's business has. So I got to do some paint work there. Was trying to scratch paint off of the stainless steel finish washers there, but yeah, this thing's pretty much done. I'll get back on here at night and show you guys what it looks like. But yeah, there she is. As simple looking as possible, as elegant as possible, but designed on a damn computer, and it took about 4 months to build. So there she is. This is my Promaster 136. This is how much you can accomplish and fit in a 136 right here. Dual slider. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.